Okay, my name's Zakashi, guys, and in this video here I'm going to be bringing you guys a tier list for the part 2 of the 6th anniversary. We got two big name units, supposedly. We've got Ultimate Gohan, the first character that was revealed in the part 2 reveals and stuff. He doesn't look that great animation wise, but his kit says otherwise for sure. Then on the other side, we've got God Goku. The Battle of God Fiends 1, they finally got their God Goku. His animations look amazing, but his kit, maybe he's in the debate a lot more. Hopefully you guys are going to enjoy this video. Let me know what you think about the tier list, and if there's anything you don't like, actually explain what you don't like in the comment section, because I will be checking. Let's get into this video now. Of course, we can't do the tier list without shouting out Dingy, DNGEE_YT, and the reason I'm shouting him out is because he's the person that's providing the tier list template. If you want to make your own tier list, you can see their tier list template and the link is right there for you to press. Go ahead and give him a follow on Twitter. He's on that road to 4,000 followers. Gotta shout out the boy, because I wouldn't be bringing you guys this video if it wasn't for him. Alright, cool. So we're going to be starting at number 10 on the tier list here. Somebody actually recommended that I should start from the bottom and build to the top, but we'll do the honorable mentions and fan service last because they're not even making the list for the most part, at least my list. So we got Beast Gohan. You can see him on the screen. He's a very big fan favorite, one of the most used units in the game, and I definitely feel like he's shot up in value simply because of Ultimate Gohan's release. In one of my first few games of this new update, I faced a team where he was alongside Ultimate Gohan and Ultra Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. Obviously Hybrid Saiyans is insane right now, and Son Family too, but the idea is that they can both remove vanishes, they can both also get their vanishes, they both also cancel buffs. So guys like Vegito fusing Super Vegito, who cancels buffs, with a team with two Gohans, Ultimate Gohan and Beast Gohan, you're not going to be able to get that rush through. In a lot of cases, you can get the rush through Ultimate Gohan or Beast Gohan if you rush from him cover changing in. That was a good way to avoid MVP 17 back in the day. But if you have two units on the same team that can remove buff effects when Ultimate, Rising Rush, Awakened Arts is hit, do you get what I'm saying? It's not going to be easy to overcome. So Beast Gohan is one of those units that should definitely make the list in my opinion. Hybrid Saiyans and Son Family super good. Even though I don't think he's a first round pick on Son Family, Hybrid Saiyans are really on the moon right now with the release of Ultimate Gohan, because they already also had Ultra Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, who's definitely one of the best units in the game. I don't feel like there's much more to say. Everybody knows his kit. He's been in the game for a long time. Blue card damage is insane, especially when he's built up. The vanish recovery that he can get is super insane, and I believe even last stand he's able to lock your mains and rushes. So he's not someone to be slept on. He can easily solo you if you give him the chance. Gotta put some respect on Beast Gohan. Hybrid Saiyans brought him back up to the moon, and he's a first round pick on that team. Ultra Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, Ultimate Gohan, and Beast Gohan. When you think of Hybrid Saiyans, he's on the team, one of the best teams in the game. Let's clap it up. Number 10. We got number 9 here. The next up on the list, we got Corrupted Zamasu. Corrupted Zamasu is a very big player in this meta right now, and he's obviously shot up with the likes of God Ki and God Goku being in the existence. And you know, the game, they just tried to buff God Ki in general, so we gotta respect them. But look at CMZ. The reason why he's a big time player, two reasons in my opinion, even three. One, he's anti-Saiyans. There's a lot of big name Saiyans in the meta right now. Ultra UI, Gogeta Blue, even Super Baby 2 counts in part of that. Super Vegito, God Goku now as well. So Saiyans is very predominant in the meta generally speaking. So CMZ being anti-Saiyan, he's able to just cook. He has the odds in his favor to do damage. And lots of those guys are yellows. Three of them I mentioned, Super Baby 2, Gogeta Blue, and Ultra UI. Those three are Saiyans. So CMZ is able to cook that way. Outside of that, he also has Explosive Green. He's able to get the combo started very easily. Everybody knows, for example, Ultra Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. Explosive Greens are just mad annoying to deal with. It's like a cheesy way to get a good start in the game, and CMZ can do that. He's been doing that. Chain it into a blue card, go type neutral as well. It's really perfect to counter big game players in the meta right now. I don't even need to go into the small details about his kit. For example, destroying cards and whatnot. I believe his ultimate can lock in as well. So he has a lot of good factors in general that make him a very big player in the game right now. He has good teammates as well. If you want to run him alongside Ultra UI, God Goku, one of the newest units in the game. those are units that can also fit, but you could also leader slot him and he fits on powerful opponents with the likes of Ultra Golden Frieza. So he has a lot of reason to be in the top 10. He's actually one of those that you should really respect because he's a Zenkai. It's not like he's a new release. He's been in the game for a minute. He's one of those Zenkais that actually beat the odds, because Zenkais don't beat the odds. Very rarely do Zenkais beat the odds, but he's one of those guys that were actually good. People love him. People are using him. Stock value gone through the roof. Red with a lot of yellows in the game as well. Put him up there at number 9. Alright, so next up, it did say 8 before, but we got 7 and 8. And I made a last minute executive decision to make Super Baby 2 and God Goku on the same level, so they could be interchangeable. If you want to put Super Baby 2 ahead, that's fine. If you want to put God Goku ahead, that's fine. But let me explain why I believe they can be interchanged. So I feel like God Goku should naturally be a better unit in terms of how the devs should have developed him. Clearly, he's not on the same level as Ultimate Gohan. That should be understood point blank from just playing one game of PvP against both units. You'll be able to gauge the difference of how much of a gap there is between Ultimate Gohan and God Goku. So the fact that he's even this low in the first place, in my opinion anyways, is an absolute disgrace considering he's an anniversary unit. But whatever. There are some things that God Goku is missing that I think that really makes him not as good, or just completely kind of unbearable for what a good unit he looks as, so like his animations and whatnot. For example, getting no card and key on entry, that is painful. That is painful. It's 2024 and you're not getting key on entry. What are you doing? This guy here, I believe as well, I believe he's a melee type unit, even if he's a range type unit, whatever. The point is, offensively, it's not his excelling point. He has like impact resistant, he starts combo, he has endurance, like these are good things as well. But why is he built in a defensive manner? That puts him, in my opinion, in the same box as Super Baby 2. So let me talk about Super Baby 2 for a minute. Super Baby 2, he's an offensive and defensive guy. In the same way that I spoke about CMZ, he's anti-Saiyan. So Super Baby 2, he's also not selfish. He also busts his allies to be anti-Saiyan, which allows him to actually excel. And if we're talking about teams, he's able to fit on some powerhouse teams. He can actually fit on Saiyans because he is a Saiyan. He fits on powerful opponent. GT, maybe lackluster out of the 3 I just mentioned, but it's a team that he's on. So he does have potential in the game as well. But the only reason I would, if you're asking me, I would say Super Baby 2 is better. But if you're asking me to analyze why they're on the same tier, the reason why I'm actually debating them to be equal to some degree is because of God Goku's teams. If God Goku wasn't on Son Family, it would be a disgrace for him. Literal disgrace. Now, God Goku has endurance, right? But his endurance is cancelable. So Vegito can go through it. Anybody else that has an ultimate arts can go through it. But what I'm thinking about is the fact that he's on a team where Beast Gohan and Ultimate Gohan exist. Those units are able to cancel buffs. So let's say on a cover change, you rush Ultimate Gohan, right? You rush Ultimate Gohan. He cancels the fact that you had the nullify endurance. Then you switch out to God Goku. He gets protected by his allies on his team in a sense. Him alone, he doesn't have the potential to keep himself alive against those type of nullify endurance effects, but he has the teammates to do so, and I think that can kind of cover him. But he doesn't get covered enough because he still doesn't get the key on entry, card on entry. He does have blast armor, he does block AoE greens, he does also have an explosive green, so he can start a combo, but if you're switching into him, it's not the best thing, which is why he's even this low in the first place. But Super Baby 2, I think he's better personally, but he's only on this level simply because his teams, in my opinion, outside of powerful opponent, he's not going to be a first round pick on Saiyans, and GT, like I said, is lackluster out of the 3 I just mentioned. Is clearly not there. He's not a unit that you'll run into often, and it might seem like that's a bias. PvP meta is biased. It's more about who's being used right now, who's popular right now, mixed in with who's actually good. A unit could be the best in the game, but if you play 1,000 games and never find them, you won't see them on most people's tier list in most cases. That's unfortunately how it goes, so that's why I kind of have them on the same tier. God Goku's lucky he has good teammates. If he didn't, he'd be pissed. Super Baby 2 is unlucky he's not a popular character, but if he was, it'd be way better for him. So for those reasons, I've kind of balanced and brought it together to put them on the same tier. I don't think people will be happy with it either way. There's going to be a lot of controversy on this tier list anyways, but I've settled for 7 and 8. It's kind of like they both have their downsides, and Super Baby 2 is not because of himself, but God Goku is because of himself. But then Super Baby 2 is bringing himself and allies up, whereas God Goku is being brought up by his allies. On top of the fact he's green as well, countering Vegito, I guess that's a nice little touch, you know, icing on the cake. I think this one's a bit difficult, but let me know what you guys think about it in the comment section. Next up, we got Ultra UI and Gogeta Blue. Another interchangeable, but if you're asking me, I'm also putting UI above Gogeta Blue, but I know people have their preferences, and Gogeta Blue isn't bad. I just feel like the better option is UI Goku for the purpose of guaranteeing kills. I don't even need to go into the main factors of UI's kit. It's mostly the fact that he can guarantee a kill if you try to sub out, and he can literally throw you back in, and then he's going to hit that ultimate that can pretty much take you out. He also is a better staller because of his gauge, and he can also flip out of combos if they hit a forward moving attack, so a strike card, a green card, a blue card. That's how his gauge works, so he's optimal for keeping your team alive in general, which is why I prefer him over Gogeta Blue. They both work on the same teams. They're both the same element. The only difference is I'd say that Gogeta obviously has movies, but it's not that big of a difference to make, even though he does have the extra team. Do you know what I'm saying? Let's talk about Gogeta Blue. We already know that his downsides are the fact that his strike assault is kind of flawed. You can't chain it into a green card. You don't draw cards from it. And he doesn't do the most damage anyways, even though he is super tanky. But in my eyes, would you take a tanky unit over a unit that just can't get hit? In common sense should tell you shouldn't. You know, this unit is not going to get hit, but this unit is going to take a lot because he has the impact resistance. Let's gas up Gogeta Blue a bit though. He does have the avoidance for the AoE green. His green card itself, I believe it locks you in for a couple time accounts. There are benefits to obviously doing the strike assault, like it does give him cover note and he can avoid certain things, but you do have to time it correctly. His pre-transformation is pretty good as well, being able to draw lots of cards, get vanish back. Even post-transformation he gets vanish back from his main ability when he presses it. So there is props to him. I feel like it's more sort of preference thing though. Me personally, I'm always going to go UI Goku. I'm saying UI Goku is better. But I could see Gogeta Blue being used to fulfill the exact same role on the exact same teams. Son Family, Saiyan, God Ki, whichever one you have higher stars, you can pretty much just choose who you want to use and they would work together with the other big Son Family units. You guys know who they are. I don't think I need to explain much more, but I just want to emphasize that I'm taking UI. But if you want to take Gogeta Blue, that's also cool. I didn't even speak about the fact that he's able to get a second lock-in on Last Stand. The main ability draws a green and an ultimate, you know. He goes type neutral. The ultimate, and I think the main ability as well, extends, it refills his dodge mechanic. And I think the icing on the cake, he gets his endurance nullification from his main ability. So that means he can actually do strikes and blast to take out units like God Goku, Ultimate Gohan, Ultra Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. Do you get what I'm saying? He can use the main ability alone without actually pulling out ultimate arts if he doesn't want to, and he's type advantage against Ultimate Gohan, so that's why I have him above. But I could see the interchange option as well. Don't need to go much more into that one though. I think it's pretty much safe. All right, next up we got Ultra Golden Frieza. Ultra Golden Frieza is a powerhouse, just super juiced. I think it's the fact that he's just super juiced in general. His teams have him Zenkai buff to the brim. It's dumb. But even if you're not Zenkai buffing him, he's still a very good solo unit, so let's not downplay him. His green card is able to give him Vanish Restore, Cover No, and extra cards. That trifecta off of one card is unreal. He's comboing you for days, getting his Vanish back so he can combo you again. He averages about a 60 combo, which is insane. And again, he has good teammates as well, such as Super Baby 2, CMZ, on powerful opponent. You can even put Super 17 in there, even though he's not on this list at the moment. But you get what I'm saying. He has good teammates. He's also on movies, so he fits with Gogeta Blue and God Goku, which is wild. He has a lot of good teammates while also being a good carry himself. Now, obviously, he has the comeback ability, which is like a revival, but it's not labeled as a revival. So Vegito, fusing Super Vegito, if he takes him out, fusing Super Vegito will not get the buff effect, so he won't get the damage inflicted and the Dragon Balls because comeback isn't labeled as revival. Then on top of that, the comeback is also going to do damage. Against yellows, I believe you can take them out to half health, even more depending on your stars, which makes a big difference when you're playing in PvP. So he's just a safe unit to have. I didn't even mention Nappa and Vegeta, who's another unit that can get the similar Zenkai buff. So on that team, you've got a double revival while one's comeback. Do you get what I'm saying? He's just a super good unit in general. He's not even that he's mad complex. He's a very simple kit, but super OP. Like I said, the green card does 3 things in one. The comeback doing damage to you, then he goes again. Every time someone dies, he's getting more vanish off of his green card. Not a complicated kit. It's just super efficient, straight to the point, and he has the Zenkai buffs to back him. Very safe option right now. I believe at the time of recording this video, I think if I upload this, he would be on a rerun. So I'm not saying summon for him, but I'm saying he's a good unit to have. Alright, so next up we got Ultra Super Saiyan 2 Gohan alongside Fusing Super Vegito. I think they're also very much interchangeable, but if you're asking me, I'm taking the Ultra Gohan over Fusing Super Vegito, just slightly over the edge. And my main reason is that Super Vegito, as much as you might want to try and say like he has multiple teams, right now if you play PvP consistently, he's only being used on Son Family, because right now we're playing Gohan Ball Legends. You can't avoid it. Gohan Ball Legends is absolutely nuts right now. So if you're going to be using Vegito, it's mostly going to be on Son Fam. You can run him on Saiyans and other teams, but obviously it's not the most optimal when Son Family is right there. Ultra Gohan is matching, and given that there's nobody else left, you can assume who's number 1, but he's on Son Family and Hybrid Saiyans, which are very, very high value teams right now. So we should respect him for that. But let's talk about the rat in general. Explosive Green, the counter with his, you know what I'm saying, when he puts his hand up. He has the blue card counter, endurance, last stand of death. If he pops his main ability, he's going to lock your main and rising rush. Ultimate off last stand, second vanish recovery on last stand. Obviously his ultimate hits heavy in the first place, and he can extend his combo pretty well, getting a lot of ki the whole time. Pretty much just one of the best units in the game. Kind of glazed him right there. And just to put the icing on the cake, I think him being green is super, super good. Cool. Let's also talk about him being a team player. Team player Gohan here. You know, most units don't be sharing cards, but Ultra Gohan, he says, hey, anti-blast for you, anti-blast for you. It's actually insane. It's actually insane. Just having him on your team enhances your overall play, not just for him, but for all your units. Doesn't even matter if you're running him on Son Family or Hybrid Saiyans. It can be any team, and he's just being the team player that he is, the damn rat, bringing cheese all the way to the slums. Cool. Let's talk about Fusing Super Vegito now. His Rising Rush. His Rising Rush is a free kill. If you're thinking, oh, well, it's not going to kill certain characters, you're right. It's not going to kill Ultimate Gohan if you rush him point blank, because he'll cancel your buffs. It's just not going to go through the endurance, so you have to work around that. The only way you can get around it is through cover changes. So if I rush, for example, Ultra Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, and he cover changes into Ultimate Gohan wasn't on the battlefield when the Rising Rush was activated, so the rush will go through and take him out. Other than that, the only way to pretty much stop him, I'd say, is to use a green where you haven't cover changed or switched out, so he doesn't get type neutral. If you switch out or cover change while Vegito's on the battlefield, he'll get type neutral, and in that case he's going to take out even greens. Otherwise, greens will be able to tank his Rising Rush in most cases, because if you pick him, he then gets supreme damage, which isn't the same as Rising Rush damage. So for those reasons of him being able to be stopped, especially by Ultimate Gohan, and if you catch him on like buff cancellation and things like that, I think he's slightly worse than Ultra Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, but he's on the same teams as those guys, and I think he also gains some value because Ultra Super Saiyan 2 Gohan is obviously being countered by Ultimate Gohan. I think that's pretty much it. There's not much more to talk about them. I didn't explain much about Vegito's kit. It's mainly just his Rising Rush, but you guys see the factors he has. He's able to get his synchro pretty fast. He gains full health when he does his synchro. His combos are mad long. He does have vanish recovery as well, and his green card gives him cover no pulse transformation. So that's all dope. Very, very super good that he provides for the team, but himself, he's a very good solo unit. So we're gonna give him the number 2/3 spot. But if you're asking me, I'm saying Ultra Super Saiyan 2 Gohan is better than Fusing Super Vegito, just slightly though. Enough time talking about this whole tier list. We gotta talk about the number 1 in the game right now. We have Ultimate Gohan, who literally just does everything. I made a tweet about this today, and I'm not gonna talk about it too much, but I think it's the fact that he's able to cancel buffs when you do anything to try and kill him. If he's trying to be killed, he's gonna stop you because he cancels buffs 3 times from blue cards, awakened arts, ultimate arts, or rising rushes, which means if Vegito's doing a rising rush, it's not going to kill him if he does it point blank. The only way you can get him is from a cover change, because it wouldn't have activated while he's on the battlefield, which is wild. It's very wild. But let's look at his other factors. It doesn't even feel like his time gauge is even there on the battlefield for most of the part. His attack gauge comes in so fast and he's able to do so much with it. He gets Vanish Recovery from his ult. He gets Vanish Recovery from his green card, which is insane. He draws cards in a lot of places. He heals as well from being Rising Rush, which is insane. Blue card, special moves, whatever it is, comes in as well. But the icing on the cake, which really is overkill of death, is when the main ability is pressed. Why is he just going to rob you of your Vanish Step? Now, I spoke about this at number 10, and we're here full circle now. Paired with Beast Gohan, you have 2 opportunities to take someone's Vanish. You transform with Beast, you take their Vanish. You press the main with Ultimate Gohan, you take their Vanish. It's actually quite absurd how you can have both of those guys on the same team, on top of the fact they both also cancel buffs. They both cancel buffs. So let's say you're running Hybrid Saiyans, right, and Vegito rushes you. Even if he rushes Red Beast, he's going to cancel the buffs and he can still switch into Ultimate Gohan. Like, it's insane. So in most cases, you're super protected with Ultimate Gohan on your team. He can also be the solo man that you want him to be and just take out everybody. He also has a pretty good element, taking out one of the best units in the game, Ultra Super Saiyan 2 Gohan being purple. He is at threat by a lot of yellows, but he can't even be killed by them because he will go type neutral. Like, for example, a lot of people will like to mention that Ultra UI has the lock-in, and I was glazing it literally when I was talking about it. But then, if he tries to do the lock-in into an ultimate art, Ultimate Gohan is really just going to cancel the nullification from the main ability if you press it. Then he will also go neutral on the defensive end. It's just insane. It's just insane. So there's really no way to get around him unless you're just damaging him gradually over time, or you use fusing Super Vegito off the cover change, and you better hope Beast is not on that team anyways. And off the cover change is so precise to catch him. It's such a niche scenario to even bring it up. It is something that can happen, but the likeliness of it happening is very low. The only other scenario I think you could take him out pretty easily is if you just like use Ultra UI and you press the main ability and just work through with strikes and blasts so that your buffs don't get cancelled. But outside of that, he's easily just one of the safe units in the game. You have to really work hard to take him out, or use a yellow and just get lucky with them not switching. It's too OP in my opinion, for it, especially because he's a part 2 anniversary unit. He's not even a headliner, so it makes me think is the Ultra next that's gonna come is gonna break the game. But I think it's a pretty safe option to have at number 1. I don't think it's really debatable, and I think in the near future, with the fact that it's Gohan Ball Legends right now, it's dumb. It's dumb. It's just going to get worse with all these Sun family units dropping. That's my number 1 there, Ultimate Gohan. Alright, so for the final part of the tier list, we got the honorable mentions. We've got Super 17. Super 17's actually pretty good, but of course, he's kind of just phased out with the way the teams are shifting, and he's not a powerhouse on any team. He needs Zenkai buffs, and to fix the team around him, it's not ideal. You have to Zenkai buff him multiple times, but his ability to still tap attack you and stop your strikes and blues must be studied for the rest of history. But outside of that, he's not an amazing powerhouse right now. It's just way better to build your team around somebody else. Nappa and Vegeta, they're still pretty good. They're really just a Ultra Golden Frieza glazer. Like, if you're using Ultra Golden Frieza, Nappa and Vegeta are like the best friend, you know? You can run these guys on Saiyans and Vegeta Clan, but who's really running Vegeta Clan over Gohan Ball Legends, Sun Family Legends, you know? And even on Saiyans, there's just better options. So, really and truly, let's leave Nappa and Vegeta out of it. Shin being ran on God Key is low-key a sleeper. Low-key a sleeper. This guy here, he be locking the hell out of my cards, man. He's mad annoying. He's mad annoying in general. I don't even, bro. He low-key mad annoying, bro. Hey, don't sleep on him, bro. He draws cards from the green card. He has an ultimate arts as well. It's super dope. Let's talk about Beerus. Beerus has an explosive green. He cancels your buffs if you rush him. He also is very supportive. You know how we mentioned how Goku doesn't have key on entry. This guy gives key when he goes to standby. So the reason why Goku doesn't have that is because he's meant to be paired with Beerus, and Beerus is meant to give key to the guys that he switches out to. So we gotta put him here. His blue card does a lot of damage as well. I believe he has ultimate arts as well. So decent stuff. The honorable mention is not too deep. I wouldn't really say most of these guys will make top 10. I think the top 10 units are very solidified, but some people might want to try and make the argument, you know. So I'm just going to put them here. All right, just to low-key end off the video before I go through the whole list. We just got the fan service tier. People be wondering what this is. It's just units that people low-key want to glaze, you know. I missed someone, actually. Where is he? He's going to make a lot of people smile when I move him up. Just for the glaze purpose. There he is. the king himself, UGB. Just a bunch of units that people glaze. It doesn't mean that they're necessarily top 10 or anything. I'm just putting them in there for the fan service, you know. You gotta make a couple people happy. You gotta make a couple people smile, You know what I'm saying? Let's even get 7 in there. Get Broly in there. You know. Gotta put some smiles on people's faces. Alright, so after some evaluation with the chat, we low-key made the 7, 8, 9 tier. Before it was just 7, 8 with Baby and Goku. But we moved Super CMZ into this branch for the reasons of him being anti-Saiyan when there's 3 yellows literally right above him. 1 green card and a blue card could actually take a lot of these guys out, depending on the stars, of course. But on top of that, before Super Gauge 2, Gauge Oraga even adapts with his gauge filling, CMZ could definitely take him out. It could take 2 or 3 cards, blue card possibly. Of course, it depends on the stars and the team with the build. But God Goku also has some feats that could keep him in the tiers. Like, for example, these 2 both have explosive greens. These 2 are anti-Saiyan. This guy has better teammates than these 2. There's a lot of ways you could switch them around. So I just decided to make that correction based on the last few spots. But I think this is one of the most tightest tier lists I've ever created. And I really don't know how to feel about it. But this is the top 10. We've got Ultimate Gohan, Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, and Vegito interchangeable, but I have Gohan 2, Golden Frieza 4, UI Goku and Gogeta Blue 5 and 6, but I have UI 5, CMZ, Super Baby 2, and God Goku 7, 8, 9, but I have CMZ at 7, 8, 9, and then Beast Gohan filling in at 10. Honourable mentions, you see them, and the fan service tier. It doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter. But that's going to be it for the video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. Let me know what you guys think about the tier list, and actually give comments on things that you didn't like or did like, maybe things you'd move, or there's a lot of interchangeables, so you might have specifics that you'd like to have above certain characters. Of course, your opinion is your opinion, my opinion is my opinion, but I think this tier list is pretty good, even though I didn't really solidify a lot of things because I have interchangeables. But of course, if you haven't already, make sure to press the subscribe button, man. We're on this grind to 100,000 subscribers. I appreciate you guys for watching, man. My name's Zakashi, guys, and I will see you guys in the next one, man.